How it do, how it be, how it is, everybody. Welcome in and welcome back. I am Sir Feffers, the humble dungeon master of the Longshot Table, and we are going into our 6th season, which is crazy, which is bonkers to think about. Oh my god. We've been in the top 1% of the D&D Twitch category for 3 years running, and we've just started in on a fresh batch of campaigns. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays is Terraform, Thursdays is Windfall, Saturdays we have Bayonet, a brand new campaign. Terraform is our flagship campaign. It's been going on for 4 years now, and we've laid a ton of groundwork for a new party to be introduced at a very pivotal time. Elves are beginning to invade. They've turned a bunch of people into trees, and it's cratered multiple cities, and there's refugees, and a god has gone missing. There's epic scale, really intense stuff going on. Ben Brainerd, Taylor Ann Tracy, Shane Wally, and Crown, formerly known as Critical Bard, will be starting new, fresh characters. We've just had the first episode. It's going really, really well, and I'm really, really excited for all of the little things I've gotten to kind of hint at within that first episode as to what this season might look like. It's going to be a lot of fun. Windfall is going into its 3rd year. It's a gothic horror western shoot 'em up cowboy story with kind of this eldritch horror influence. The party is going to be level 16, and we're getting to the conclusion of 2 years worth of context and questions and really, really dark stuff. Offbeat Outlaw, Luna Wolf Spirit, Dat Dirty Taco, Crit Fail Jake, and Jared Goof will all be reprising their roles in this campaign. We've just had the first episode. Yester, Offbeat's character, has just found his dad after looking for him for like 2 years. It's been bonkers. We've got a brand new campaign on Saturdays, 8 p.m. EST called Bayonet. We will be introducing 2 new players to the Longshot Table, Andy Skadoosh Taylor, aka Valve Max, and Draconics. Amazing creators, and I'm really, really excited to see what they do with this new narrative. We've also got the formidable Offbeat Outlaw and the hysterical Smallbird Lex coming back to the table for this Saturday segment. In Bayonet, instead of the traditional Ravenloft-esque narrative where the party goes into the demi-plane and gets trapped and has to escape and stuff like that, we are instead moving forward a little bit in the era of technology and introducing this idiot noble who looks at this demi-plane and essentially says, I'm tired of these taxpayers, peasants getting, kidnapped in my demi-plane in these woods that I own. And so he raises a militia and full scale invades, and they all get absolutely destroyed. They get dunked. Some of the party members are a part of this and barely survive and then assimilate into this realm. All of the Longshot campaigns are connected. In this particular season, all of the campaigns are taking place within the same pane, like a pane of glass. Each pane is a sliver of present that moves through time in the astral dimension. If you're familiar at all with the egg theory, some of these narratives might start clicking in your head for you. If you watched Void Scourge at all, some of these narratives might start making a little bit of sense. There's a lot of hints to the macro mechanics going on in these worlds within Void Scourge. D&D was introduced to me at a real low point in my life. I had just been kicked out of Christian college, discipleship college, and was ruined. I had come home in defeat and in failure, and I was moping, and a lot of my friends back from high school had moved away and gone off to do other things, except one, and he was like, you'd be into this. And I sat down. It was 1st edition, and what I believe now to maybe be a lie, the dungeon master, who became a very good close friend of mine, was like, oh, you rolled a 100 when you finished making your character. You have psionics, you have Jedi mind powers. And I, who had made a dwarf cavalier on a horse, did not know how to deal with that headspace at all, and accidentally killed a beloved NPC with these sudden Jedi mind powers, and I was hooked from there. A lot of my approach is focused on giving that 110%. I bring the very serious and the dark and the dour vibes and the horror elements and some comedy, but I really rely on bringing in talented players who are hilarious or really know what to do with these stressful scenarios I put them in, and expound upon it and bring it to new levels that I wouldn't have even thought of. That's kind of the secret sauce of D&D, of groups improv storytelling, is that I can rely on all of these incredible creators to help me tell this story. Otherwise, it's just a book. I tend to introduce myself when I go to conventions or anything like that as just a really lazy author, because I tried writing a book. It ended up being named Terraform. And if anyone who is watching this knows anything about writing, writing is hard. It's really, really hard. You gotta have discipline. You gotta know what you're doing. You gotta be able to write really well. And that I'm not particularly good at those particular things. My emphasis is on storytelling and crowd work. I'm really good with bouncing off of people in a social dynamic, and so it kind of was this transition of like, wait, this D&D thing. I can just give my protagonists agency and free will, and they'll just do stuff. I don't have to. Wait a minute. And yeah, it's not going to be the exact same story, but that's okay. That's good, even, because we're bringing in such talented, phenomenal creators who are hysterical, who always surprise me and bring these crazy new dynamics into play that I wouldn't have even thought of. Developing a story in D&D really comes down to the party, the POV that the medium is narrated through, which is the perspective of the players, the perspective of the characters that they're playing. So it's really hard to come up with plot when you don't know what the party is doing, but it's incredibly easy to world build. So I do a mix and match of coming up with an overall scheme, an overall idea, various hooks that'll make a person interested, and then once I have the characters in place and I've got the players with their backstories, I can weave that into the narrative. Inspiration is everywhere. Inspiration is anywhere. The trick is to have this kind of little bit in the back of your head that's constantly filtering through every experience and chewing on it and saying, how can I use this? How can I turn this into something original? How can I turn this into a hook that you kind of lay the groundwork on and the player gets interested. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and then a big reveal, and specifically a reveal for the party, for the player and the viewer to be like, oh, that's kind of dope. The disappointing answer is it all comes down to who you know. It all comes down to networking. I think I hit probably 70K followers before I thought I had the perceived authority to be able to start like reaching out to people. And then from there, people started responding, and it went from, okay, you and you, let's all just jump into a call and play some D&D and have some fun, and we'll stream it. The fact that it is streamed does make things easier in some way. You know, there's a bit of a, oh, people are watching, let's put on this event, let's host for these people, let's entertain, and kind of go from there. And it's not for everybody, and the people that doesn't work out with, and then you kind of bring in more people, and that tends to work out, or it doesn't, and then you kind of just keep snowballing and growing from there, you know? How do you know you've got a good player? I'll use an example. Ben Brainerd. When I met Ben, he was interested in maybe coming to play, and we were all at Taylor's place having a bit of a meetup. And I took him aside after I met him a little bit, and I was like, "Hey, so you're interested? Let's talk about triggers. Let's see, is there anything we can avoid to make sure you have fun?" And he was like, "Nah, don't worry about any of that." And I was like, "Okay, well, here's a bit of a spiel that I've prepared to kind of explain how D&D works mechanically." And he cuts me off and goes, "I don't mean any offense by this, but I'm pretty smart." And I was like, all right, if you're confident. And he was, and he sat down at the table and he picked up the character sheet and he was like, "I understand how this works." And he did, and he's been going absolutely rampant ever since. He's made various subclasses for various other homebrew 5e campaigns, and he's run various summer series and the like, and he's just absolutely taken off into this field and is just having so much fun, and it's really fun to just watch him. I'm Sir Feffers, the humble dungeon master of the Longshot Table, and I've been DMing for about 10 years now, and it's been an absolute honor to be going into season 6 of Longshot, which is bonkers to me. You can find me everywhere as Sir Feffers. You know, I make some short form, but I mostly focus on the long form. I mostly focus on my 3 campaigns, yeah, I hope this video has helped you a little bit here on the YouTube channel and wherever else you might find this, as to a little bit of the context of the monolithic world that we've kind of been unfurling over these past 6 years. It's become more than anything I could have written on my own. It's become more than anything I could have hoped or dreamed for. I feel like I've found my purpose. You know, I'm loving every single step of this journey.